Hey guys! So the other day I posted on my Instagram that I was taking vlog requests, anything that they would like to see me talk about, and one of the vlogs that was, oh, you can see my shoulder twitch, hello. It's been doing that for like 10 minutes. But one of the requested vlogs that I've been meaning to do, I just haven't gotten around to it because I've still been super busy, is kind of like an off-season reflection vlog since I am out of my competition season for a wee bit right now. So I will go ahead and do that. I tend to ramble, so I tried to like streamline everything onto 4 different pages, but whatever, we're gonna get through it. But okay, so we're gonna dive right in. I will start off with kind of just a reflection on the past competition season. So I started my contest prep around mid-February, and then I ended mid to late July, so that was over 20 weeks of dieting, which was rough. I did 3 shows. I did the Julie Palmer, and actually there's vlogs of all 3 shows. So I did the Julie Palmer where I took 2nd place. That was a regional show, but it was a national qualifier, so I re-qualified for a year from that date. And then I did NPC Junior Nationals where I didn't place, but it was really great national level experience, and it was excellent to see where I need to go from where I am to be at that level to place/win at a national level show. So it kind of gave us an idea of where we need to go from here. And then after that, and that was a week after the Palmer, and then 5 weeks after Junior Nationals, I went to Collegiate Nationals in Pittsburgh, and I took 1st place in my class. I did not win the overall. I was extremely happy to have won my class. Like literally, if you watch really closely in the video when they call the girl who won 2nd for 2nd, you can just see like me like, because I knew that that meant I had 1st. Like it was a sigh of just yes. So yes, I was super happy to have won my class. I did not win the overall. And being in that overall pose down and looking at the pictures and looking how close it was, it just makes me extremely hungry for an overall title. Very, very hungry. But yeah, so let's talk about some highs and lows of the competition season. The highs, I would definitely say winning collegiates was a big one. It was amazing. That was an amazing feeling. And my little trophy girl, I look at her every day, and that's like, I'm looking at it right now, that's why I'm looking up, it's up there. But it serves as some really great motivation that I can do this and that I can accomplish whatever I put my mind to. And it was an amazing feeling. And then another high of the season was just getting to spend quality time with not only the loved ones that I see on a regular basis, like my parents and Eric, but also getting to spend quality time with people like Heidi and Ricky, because they came in for the Julie Palmer because she competed with me, if you guys saw that vlog. And then getting to hang out with my friend Justin when I was in Chicago, and going and eating the entire city of Chicago with him and his cousin Cedric. And then getting to hang out with Allie in Pittsburgh, and just seeing people that I don't usually get to see. That's one of my favorite things about competing, and that's just one of my favorite things in general, is spending quality time with people. So that was super awesome. And then another high would be connecting with people from social media, especially at Junior Nationals, because it was just so many competitors from everywhere. Like, it was so cool getting to like meet and hang out with and see my quote-unquote social media friends like Lacey and Beth, and all them. We're meeting Sophia in Pittsburgh at Collegiate Nationals, Saucy, that's what I call her at least because her Instagram is Saucy Rose. But yeah, it was just really cool. Like, it's really cool to get to spend time with my social media friends, which is super weird to say that I have, but I do. I have them and they're cool and I love them. But yeah, just overall great season, and obviously a high bringing my absolute best physique ever that I busted my ass for. I will never discredit my hard work. I pulled out just about every stop that I could pull out this season to get where I got. And I'm very pleased with that, and I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very proud of the hard work that I put in. So just like taking a second to reflect on that and appreciate that is important to me. But yeah, so really great season. So not to be the Debbie Downer. Lows of the season, like I've mentioned numerous times, not losing weight fast enough. In the very beginning, I was not losing weight the way I should have been, and I actually started to gain weight back. But what happened was the first cut was made just from training volume fluctuation alone, and then when I started cutting calories, that's when I started to regain the weight that I lost from just changing my training volume. So that resulted in a lot of stress. And then we had to do a lot of playing around with macros and my ratios, and we also had to add more conditioning just to get the ball to roll. So we had to make some pretty serious cuts along with some pretty serious additions to conditioning. There were a lot of days when I would have to condition twice a day just to get where I needed to be. So that led to a lot of fatigue, especially towards, even after I tapered off the twice a day conditioning, I still had very low energy. I went through a lot of sleeplessness, and not that I wasn't sleeping, but I could never get a full night's sleep. So I would go so far as to say that I haven't had a full night's sleep since April. Like, I always wake up at least once in the middle of the night. And I've heard some people experience similar things when they're dieting. But anyway, a lot of aches and pains. Just the leaner you get, the harder it is to take care of your body. There was a lot of running, which is very hard on your joints. All that good stuff. I had a lot of fog brain, so just minimal, mundane, everyday tasks would become somewhat difficult at certain points. Not 24/7, but there were a lot of times when, you know, and Eric can vouch for this, you know, he would be with me at my house after we'd done something at night, and I would be cooking, and just all of a sudden you could see like a wall hit where I had no energy to do anything. And that would come at various times. I was also, until they started refeeding me after junior nationals, once we started doing those like weekly refeeds, I noticed that my mood and my energy perked up considerably. It would still be very down, especially towards the end of the week, but overall it was a lot better. I was also very moody. Most people get that way when they're dieting, so I try to keep that at a minimum, and I just don't talk. So it's nice to have a little bit of energy and pep back. But even with those lows, yes, I could have stopped. At the end of the day, this is always a choice. No one was forcing me to do this, but no, even when I wasn't losing weight, even when we had to keep doing different things to try and get me to lose weight, I wasn't stopping. Like, I'm a rabbit chaser, and I knew that rabbit of Julie Palmer and junior nationals and collegiates, I knew that those rabbits were there, and I was going to keep chasing them, and I was going to do whatever I had to do it. And I'm very glad I didn't quit, because I looked phenomenal, and I looked better than I've ever looked, which you should. With every new season, you should always look better, but I placed very well. I'm just glad I didn't quit, because there were a lot of times when I could have, but that was never, and there was always that thing that was like, oh, well, you could just stop. No, that's not an option for me, and that's just how I am. Like it or leave it, I wasn't quitting, and I could not be happier that I didn't. So that was the reflection on the season, and I've talked for almost 10 minutes already. This is going well. So off season. In terms of diet, we are slowly getting my calories back up, but trying to eat for performance and strength at the same time. So what that means is, yes, I still have, you know, my sets of macros that I'm trying to hit, but if I'm deathly tired, or not tired, if I'm deathly hungry at the end of a day and I had like a really hard training day, or harder than usual, where I feel particularly taxed and I feel as though food would be the proper form of recovery, then it's okay to eat. So eating for performance, not just aesthetics, because I'm not dieting right now. I'm trying to make gains, I guess. I don't know, whatever. I do have weekly refeeds / untracked meals, so once a week I go out. I don't have to track my meal. It's nice. It's normally like date night with Eric and I, so it's nice to have that mental break from tracking. We also just decided this week that next week I will be adding in another tracked refeed, so that one will have a set of macros to go along with it. So starting next week I will have 2 high carb days, 1 refeed day, well, 1 tracked refeed day, 1 untracked refeed day, and then 3 low days. Math, Emily. I am trying to handle my own macros right now. It's really hard for me to give myself more food, just because, like, I don't know, it's hard for me to be like, yes, it's okay, you can have this, like, it's fine, do it. That's really hard for me mentally, and I've never had to do that before. So that is something that I struggle with, is being like, okay, feed yourself. But yeah, but in terms of actual macros, I don't, and Eric agrees with me on this, I don't need to get up as high as I did last time, at least with that amount of weight gain. If I could get up to where I got up to last time in terms of macros without the weight gain that I went through last time, then that would be okay, but I don't need to put on as much off-season weight this time, especially since my off-season will be shorter than it was last time as well. So that brings me to training. Like I mentioned in Marie and I's Q&A vlog, I am doing 3 days a week of strength-based, or our strength-themed day, where it's either squats and or deads, with either leg accessory work or shoulder accessory work. So with my squats, I'm running a modified Russian squat cycle program that Eric developed, and then that's exciting. So, and then some days I have just my squats and then my accessory work. Some days I have squats and deads and accessory work. And if I don't have actual just the full deadlift movement itself, I usually have something like RDLs or snatch grip RDLs, which I hate because they suck. But yeah, and then 3 times a week I will have a speed / conditioning / explosiveness based day. Those are days where I work on my Olympic lifts, plyometrics for athletic development, not necessarily conditioning in terms of plyometrics. That's where track conditioning comes in, and again, leg accessory work, shoulder, upper body accessory work, back accessory work, etc. And then 1 time a week, typically on Sundays, that's sort of my active recovery conditioning day. So my workout is typically in the form of some kind of circuit centered around active recovery, opening some things back up, alleviating any sorenesses, any discomfort, any pain, etc. And something that's fun this time is I am toying with some of my own accessory work. So Eric has my programming mapped out, but then on a lot of my days there'll be a block that says something like hamstring accessory work, glute accessory work, shoulder accessory work, etc. And he gives me, you know, I want this range of however many exercises, like 2 to 5 exercises within X rep range. And then I develop my own accessory work so I can figure out what I feel physically in my body working the best. And it just gives me a chance to toy with some of my own programming. So that's exciting. So I will keep you guys updated with what I feel like benefits me the most in terms of accessories. I would love to share some of those workouts with you if that's something you're interested in seeing. So yeah. And then in terms of my physique goals, so my aesthetic goals, bodybuilding goals, etc., I do not only need but want to maintain better conditioning this time. I don't have the need to put on as much size this time as I did last time, so better conditioning is more realistic, I would say, because I don't need to put on as much muscle weight and therefore don't need to put on as much fat. That'll also make it easier to diet next time. We think part of the issue I had with cutting weight was the fact that I got so far away from my stage weight. Granted, I was only 12 pounds away from it, but my body is very stubborn when it comes to losing weight. So we're hoping that staying within a better range will help to ease that process next time. And also, if I ever choose to compete in another sport, I would be more competitive at a lower weight. So if I can stay in a better weight range and only have to cut a couple of pounds to do a meet of any sort, then that would be a lot easier than having to cut like 15 pounds. Obviously. I am, in terms of reverse dieting or whatever, my goal right now is not necessarily a surplus, a caloric surplus. I want to do more of what Chrissy deemed in her book as the holy grail of dieting, or a body recomposition. So that would be me staying at around a maintenance level calories, maybe a little bit above, working on some hamstring and glute development, leaner legs, but with slight upper body improvements. I don't need a whole lot, right? Meow. I had a great upper body this season. I would like to have some better developed rear delts and slightly more cap to the shoulders, but the main focus right now is legs. Leaner legs, higher, tighter, glutes that salute, all that jazz. So I do have a lot of leg accessory work in there. In terms of strength goals, first and foremost, better movement patterns and positioning. Something that Eric has taught me the perspective that Eric has taught me is that coming back from a bodybuilding season where strength may have dipped a little bit, it's similar to coming back from an injury, wherein yeah, it sucks that strength dipped a little bit, but it's also a really great opportunity to almost relearn the lifts. Just learning how to do things better, how to move better, which will ultimately translate into being stronger, better muscle development, better strength development, less injury risk. So yeah, better positioning and movement patterns. Squat strength, I would definitely like to see that go up. Especially my front squat, because of Olympic lifting. If I can have a stronger front squat and a stronger front rack position, then I'm gonna be better at Olympic lifting, especially cleans where you're literally in a front squat. So yeah, I would like some more Olympic lift PRs. I did tie all of my old PRs at a lower body weight. And then I also just recently PR'd on my clean and jerk. I hit 135. So that's really, I mean, after only being back from dieting for, 2 weeks. So that felt really, really great. It felt really great to hit some PRs. Well, a PR again, which was like, oh, I squealed like a little girl. It was great. I would like to work on my overhead squat mobility, just because that's poverty. I also would like to work on, in terms of my Olympic lifts, not catching everything in power. So for those of you who know about Olympic lifting and what that means, yeah, I literally catch just about every lift, especially my PR lifts, in power. And I would like to learn how to drop under the, not I would like to, I will learn how to drop under the bar better. And just overall athleticism, so again with what I said, with better movement patterns, better positioning, overall being more athletic, getting stronger, getting faster, jumping higher, while improving my physique. So next up is supplementation. This is going to be the longest video ever. But supplementation, fairly similar to what I was doing during my prep season, not a whole lot different. I'm trying to consume less caffeine because I drink a lot of caffeine. But in terms of actual supplements, for my pre-workout, always, PE Science, Alphamine, and High Volume. Trying to reduce the 2 scoops of Alphamine to 1 instead of 2. But I just recently started taking the strawberry pina colada. I was a big cherry limeade person, and I still am. But the strawberry pina colada mixed with the Paradise Cooler High Volume, I want to put an umbrella in it because it tastes like a cocktail, like a boat drink. Like I should be on the beach. And then I do still take Select Protein rather regularly, typically post-workout or whenever I want because I do what I want. Then I also take, well, and I'll put my discount code for PE Science, it's Emily on PEScience.com. I will put that right here. That gets you 30% off. But then I also take creatine, fish oil, and multivitamin. So, pretty much last, but definitely not least, mentality. So this is the big one. I noticed within the first week of being in off season, I was just much more relaxed. Mostly because I just didn't have anything that I had to plan or had to do. It was nice not being so on the go, like scheduling my tans, packing up everything, traveling, prepping meals for 4 days at a time, like just being so go, go, go on a schedule. Like I just breathed a sigh of relief. I was like, oh, whoa. So that was really nice. But yeah, in terms of mentality for bodybuilding, I want to win an overall at a regional show before I ever get on a national level stage again. That's just, at least that's my goal right now. I'm very, very, very hungry for a win. Like, oh, that's what I want. Like, and I'm not upset to say that. Like, people are always like, oh, it's not about winning. And no, the whole thing itself is not about winning, but I want to win, and it's okay to want to win. Like, it is what it is. I would also like to compete in another sport. I'm not really announcing plans for anything, either in terms of bodybuilding or another sport, just because, like, I have a plan, but at this moment in time, like, it's nice to keep some things to yourself, and it's okay to not announce everything and to not share every single detail, and just that allows me to decide for myself when it's right. At the end of the day, it's me up on stage and it's my life, and as much as I love sharing that, like, I don't know, I just want to try it. But like I said, and I mentioned in another one of my vlogs, like I will be doing like the mini bulk cycles, so I will keep you guys updated with how I'm cutting and how I'm reversing and all that stuff. But yeah, just kind of keeping some stuff in. But whatever kind of sport I compete in, other than bodybuilding, it'll be kind of like a no pressure thing. Like I just want to do it for fun. Excuse me, so that I can just enjoy the experience. But yeah, so post-show struggles. I don't really struggle with binging post-show. That's just never been an issue for me. I know that I'm very blessed to not have that issue. And if you guys would like me to make a vlog on how I deal with that, like, there's not really a whole lot for me to talk about, but I can try. The things that I struggle with most are missing the stage. I love performing and I love being on stage, so like coming off of that, it's kind of like, oh, you've got this high, like especially after winning, and then it's like, I'm done. What? So like, as nice as it is to relax and have time to relax, it's really easy to feel lost and like, okay, where am I going from here? Huh? And like allowing myself to be less hard on myself. Because I think to have like a champion mentality, you do have to be like, you do have to monitor yourself, but I need to kind of let some of that go since I don't have like, so because I'm not dieting, like I don't have a show in the immediate future. Like I need to kind of just be like, okay, you're great. Just kind of relax a little bit. It's also kind of a struggle knowing that some of the shreds have to go away in order to improve, both in terms of strength and aesthetics. Like I can't have creepy weird ab veins all the time and get better. Not saying that that'll never happen, but right now that's not realistic. Another thing that's hard is listening to hunger and satiety signals, because dieting kind of screws those up. Just because of hormone fluctuations and imbalances and all that stuff. So learning how to truly listen to my body, or like when you're hungry and you're dieting, you just kind of have to ignore it and be like, okay, whatever, like it's there. And then also realizing that what balance looks like to me, I realize this more and more every day, is different than what balance looks like to other people. So what I mean by that is I like having a rabbit to chase. I like having a plan set in place. I like having something to go after. And there's a lot of people that say that, oh, that's not good, like you should be able to just you should be able to just chill and like not have to like have a show or a meet or whatever in mind, but that's not how I operate. Like I said, I like having a rabbit to chase, and I'm chasing a couple of rabbits right now. So I do have a lot to look forward to, and I'm very excited about my life right now. So yeah, that's my little post-show reflection. So I will open up the floor to what you guys want to see in terms of like content on my vlogs, what you're curious about, burning questions you have. Yeah, so this is off season. Still training 7 days a week, still tracking macros, still enjoying my life, just slightly more toned back, but not much, because it's can't chase a rabbit and be slow. But yeah, so that's kind of where I'm at. If you guys have any specific questions about anything or whatever, leave them below. Thanks for watching as always. Love you.